Welcome back to France. Well, today we are starting our preps to go to the UK, and we're going to kick it off by getting this guy to the vet. He needs his rabies updated, and he also needs a parasite pill in order to go to the UK. And that parasite pill has to be done within 24 hours and 5 days of the time that you go to the UK. So we're hoping to catch the ferry a little bit later this week, maybe in like 2 or so days. To make things a little bit easier for Link, when we first got over here in August of last year, we went and got him a pet passport. So here in Europe, you have this pet passport. Now, there are some rules and regulations that seem to have just gone into effect as of the end of April of 2026 this year, that maybe this won't work anymore since we are not a resident of anywhere in the European Union, but we're going to give it a go and see if it still works. What's really nice with this, at least so far, is once you're coming into the European Union, once they see you have a European pet passport, it's just much easier because this keeps track of all of his vaccinations, any type of worming medication that he has to get to go to the UK, anything like that goes in here. It's signed by the vet, and so it's super easy. They just check and you're off. Unlike in the US where you just have papers upon papers upon papers and there's really no like set book to be able to keep track of it all. So this is really, really nice. We'll find out today or this week if this is still going to work. If not, we might have to go get a health certificate and deal with some other things there, but really, really hoping this still works. Just got back from the vet, and Buddy's got a clean bill of health. He's got his pills, his rabies shots, everything. He's all set to travel to the UK. How about it, bud? You ready to go to the UK? Now that Link is all set and we also got all of our repairs done, it's time to book our ferry. So we are near Caen, France, and there's a couple options. There is a ferry that goes out of Caen. There's a ferry that goes out of Dieppe. There's a ferry that goes out of Caes, which is further north, and also out of Caes, I'm probably saying that really wrong, but also out of there is the Chunnel. I was originally going to take the tunnel, which is you get on a train and it takes you under the channel to England, from France to England, but I started looking at pricing, and pricing was a lot more expensive, and it's quite a drive to get up there. So the tunnel kind of was the most expensive option, so that's out of the question for now. Maybe we'll do it on the way back. There is an Irish Ferries that goes out of the same place. They were actually the cheapest ferry, but by the time I calculated in fuel costs, which fuel costs right now in June of 2026 are through the roof here in Europe, it would end up costing me well over $400 US dollars to be able to drive there and take the ferry. So even though the ferry cost was quite a bit cheaper, it would cost me over $200 US dollars to be able to drive to there to catch the ferry. Dieppe is kind of the same way. The ferry is a little bit less expensive than here in Caen, but for me to drive there would cost me roughly $100, $150 in fuel, and so it actually makes it more expensive. So here we are. We are back into Brittany Ferries, which goes right out of Caen, maybe 20, 25 minutes away. And the ferry itself is the most expensive out of all of the other ferries, but when I calculated in fuel costs, it actually makes it the least expensive option by like $50. So we're going to get that booked, and we're going to get it booked for tomorrow, and then we'll drive over and we'll be catching the ferry to hit the UK. Well, we're going to end the last night here in France with Jerome, with some beer, barbecue. I don't know. I think this camp spot gets 5 stars. I mean, they're providing a barbecue dinner and everything, and the beer. Jeez. Yeah, definitely come to France.
In the description, the pin of the
Of
place.
the stuff?
And
Yeah. Okay.
And all the prices for sure.
Gotcha. Good morning. Well, today is the day we are heading to the UK. We are getting packed up now. We're going to run some errands, fuel, some groceries, and then we're going to make it to the ferry. Our ferry leaves at 4:30 today. We have to be there about an hour and a half ahead of time to do
all of the checks, make sure Link's paperwork is squared away and all of that. And then it's a 6-hour ferry. So we will arrive in the UK, I believe, around 8:30 or 9:30. We go back an hour, so our time changes. So time change always screws with me. It's always a difficult time leaving friends, especially after we've been here for like 2 weeks, really enjoying this space. And thanks to Jerome and Chloe for really opening up their home and allowing me to just hang out here and get things done, relax. And Link absolutely loved it here. This is probably one of Link's favorite places. He feels right at home and he's outside all day long. So he's going to be a little disappointed to leave, but it is time to move on to the next country, and let's go.
Are you coming along?
Take care of your parents. Please.
Are you not happy? You don't want to leave? Fuel prices are starting to come down a little bit. It used to be about €2.15 to €2.20 per liter, and now we're down to $1.95. So that's quite a big difference, but we're gonna try to top off before we go to the UK, because I believe it's even more expensive in the UK. We made it to the ferry port. We're waiting to get checked in here, and we'll see how the process goes with Link and everything else. And then we're about an hour and a half-ish early, so hopefully check-in just goes smooth and we can just hang out, wait in line, go back, maybe eat some food, get some work done, but see how it goes. We made it through the check-in process, got Link all checked in, all of his paperwork was good, and we are now waiting in line, I believe, to go through immigration and make sure we get all of our stamps. And we did get inspected. We had a couple officers come in, look around, and open up some drawers and stuff. It wasn't anything in depth, but I think this is the first one where they wanted to see in the garage, so I actually had to open up the whole back and them to look. But everybody super friendly, and it was super easy to get through. So we're gonna hang out, wait in line, and hopefully get moving here shortly. Waiting in the same line. All the other lines have moved. They've been moving for probably about a half hour, and we are the only line that doesn't move. So I don't know if we're a special case or what. Guess we'll find out when we get up there. We are moving forward a little bit now, and I will say it's kind of weird going from France to the UK. We've now been inspected twice with people coming in to look around, and not sure if it'll happen again, but I see more people getting inspected in front of me at the next checkpoint. So I feel like there's more checks here going from France to the UK than there was going into Morocco or anything like that. So I don't know, kind of odd, but it is what it is. Another checkpoint. We made it through passport control. That was quick and easy. And now we're in our next line, waiting to board the ferry. Ferry is supposed to leave at 4:30, so we still have about a half hour. And yeah, we're just gonna hang out again. It's always a hurry up and wait type of deal with these type of ferry border crossings, and it takes time.
Bonjour.
Just follow my colleague.
Okay, thank you. Bonjour. English.
In English, just follow the curve and straight down.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Last one.
Thank you.
We are loaded on the ferry. Link's gonna chill in the house. Kind of feel jealous. I gotta go sit upstairs, but Link chills in the house for the next 6 hours. Plenty of food, water. Be good to go. We'll catch him on the other side of the channel. He was not happy to leave the farm. Are you, bud? As you can see, we are in the channel. This is by far the largest ferry that I've been on. I think the decks for the vehicles, I think there's 4 decks. There's 3 other decks that have restaurants and bars, and they have 2 movie theaters, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it is almost like a cruise ship coming out through here, but of course everything costs money and gets expensive, but that's all right. We brought snacks. But it's a little rough today. The wind is kicking up. There's some rain coming through, so it's a little bit of a choppy ride, but thankfully the ship is so large it doesn't really make that big of a difference. But yeah, we're on our way. He made it to, I think, his 16th country. Yes. I was jealous. You got to sleep in the house. I had to sleep on the floor. We're waiting for everybody to offload. There are like 6 decks of vehicles that need to offload, so it might be a minute, but that was a long ferry ride, and the seas were really rough, and for some reason as I get older, I get seasick even easier. I've always gotten seasick when I was in the Navy and everything, but man, now I feel like anytime I'm on the boat, it's almost instant seasickness, which is kind of sucks. So it was a little rough there for a little bit, but laid down, took a little nap, feel refreshed, and yeah, we're gonna make it to camp. We only have about 15 minutes from the port to camp, but we have to go through the whole border check-in and all of that. Oof. Boy, that's tight. Sheesh. It's a little dark, but might take a little getting used to driving on the wrong side of the road here. That's a new one. Well, that was crazy. Got off the ferry, completely forgot that I had to drive on the left-hand side of the road, and throwing me into driving on the left-hand side of the road at night in the dark. That was definitely an experience, but we made it here to camp. We are in a small town called Southwick, I believe. They have a nice little pub in here. I think I'm going to stay tomorrow night too. It's supposedly a pretty nice little town. And after today, I think a day of rest would be really nice. But we made it to the UK, and I did some counting, and it is Link and Judy's 18th country. So Link is a pretty well-traveled dog, and Judy is a pretty well-traveled American ambulance. But at this point, it is time to get everything situated and go to bed. I'm freaking beat. Really hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for coming along with us to get over to the UK. If you didn't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and the bell so you're notified for next time. And until next time, we'll see you somewhere in the UK.